What makes a good hero?
Why do we gravitate to certain games, movies, and stories while shunning others? What do you have in common with Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter, Katniss Everdeen, Kratos, Link, Lara Croft, and Master Chief? What if I told you they're all the same and the answer lies within you? If you watch movies, TV, or YouTube, play video or board games, or read fiction, fantasy, and classical literature, chances are that you've experienced a story about a hero or heroine. Some will be good, some great, others not quite up to par. And then there are a few classics that will stand the test of time. For me growing up, there was Redwall Abbey and their heroic mice, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, Knights of the Old Republic's Revan, Star Wars' Luke Skywalker, and Halo's Master Chief, just to name a few. But why did these heroes stick out in my mind compared to others? And what makes Master Chief's story so appealing to an entire generation? How do I have something in common with a fictional character that hasn't been born yet, or another from a galaxy far, far away? What is the purpose of having such an engaging story? And what in the heck type of riddle is the answer lies within ourselves? Let's start with the baseline of how all these heroes are the same. They're all very different and unique and have their own specialness in their own way. In the mid-20th century, Sarah Lawrence College professor of literature Joseph Campbell developed the concept of the monomyth, that all mythic narratives are variations of a single great story, the hero with 1,000 faces. As the monomyth, it explains the journey which we have all become accustomed to with a structure that is across all civilizations around the globe without fail, a universal truth if you will. It permeates into every hero we idolize, and it represents the best and worst we have to offer. The story flows around a circle similar to a clock telling time, beginning and ending at the same place with just a little bit of difference. We start with the status quo. Everything's normal. Then we move to 1 o'clock and the call to adventure. 2 o'clock, assistance, needing help from someone else, think wise, like Yoda in Star Wars. Departure from a safe home to the special world, planet, or location. Trials, the hard work, slay a monster, get stronger, become better, and learn their role. The approach. The hero faces their worst fear and their biggest ordeal. It is a heck of a trial. At 6 o'clock is crisis, and the hero faces their darkest hour. Some even die at this point in the story. 7 o'clock, you have treasure or the reward. Special recognition or power is granted upon the hero. 8 is the result. Monsters bow down, or you rule the galaxy as father and son, or you get chased away from the special world, never to return again. Number 9 is returning back to the hero's normal world. At 10 o'clock, you have the new life. They've outgrown the old life because they're slightly new, a little bit different. They're a hero after all. 11 o'clock is resolution. There's always tangled plot lines to get cleaned up. And 12 o'clock, we're back to the status quo, but it's been slightly upgraded with this hero's ability. All heroes' journeys can be similar, but that doesn't matter, does it? Just because the story of their travel is kind of the same doesn't mean that they're all the same hero, and it doesn't have a thing to do with me besides the fact that I enjoy reading, watching, and playing through their adventures, right? Well, kind of, but no, just bear with me. For us to kind of understand this, let's look at why we gravitate towards certain heroes and away from others. If you remember the movie The Matrix, Morpheus talks to Neo about the first Matrix and how humans just didn't recognize it as being real. Everything was too perfect, there was no strife, people just woke up, they didn't believe in it. The same is true of heroes. For the most part, heroes and heroines that we enjoy as protagonists have all required or suffered one of the following, if not more. They require the assistance of another, usually wiser entity, such as Cortana for Master Chief, Gandalf for Biblo and Frodo, Old Ben and Yoda for Luke Skywalker, General Leia for Rey, a plethora of helpers for Link. I mean, you're talking Navi, Tattle, Ricky, Dimitri, Moosh, Mida, I can't even name them all. Then they have to depart, and it's generally not pleasant. It causes friction, anxiety, doubt, general mistrust of others. All these are elements that the protagonist must overcome. Then they go into their trials and their tribulations, and it causes the hero to grow. They're pushing their boundaries, and they get pushed to their limit, maybe even past it. These might be as blatant as Harry Potter's Triwizard Tournament, Jedi Fallen Order's Cal Kestis battling through mysteries as he struggles to survive after Order 66, or more subtle, such as Max Payne working through his depression. One of the best stories to go through is Master Chief, also known as John 117. The famous protagonist from the Halo series of games. It is probably the most iconic hero on Xbox's platform. Halo was successful as a video game because it innovated, expanded, and took some risk in both single-player campaign and multiplayer. Additionally, the single-player campaign was so engrossing that it not only did the game roll into a trilogy, but spawned an entire extended universe of literature and graphic novels. All the Halo games and heroes, including the Covenant's Arbiter, go through the hero cycle, and it is central to the telling of the stories and the gameplay, and that is a large part of the reason the series has continued to do well. Master Chief's struggles in the original Halo Combat Evolved began immediately at the beginning of the campaign. He is a military super soldier awakened from cryogenic slumber. Master Chief is quickly called to the bridge of a starship under assault in the far reaches of space. This is normal for him. Captain Keyes, who considerably outranks and has far more experience than the super soldier, tasks him to repel alien boarders known as the Covenant and gives him Cortana, the ship's AI, as a guiding figure. She becomes integral to the entire narrative and continues to assist Master Chief throughout the campaign and following games. Once it's clear that the ship is lost, all hands are ordered to escape pods, and Master Chief and the crew of the Pillar of Autumn crash land on the very foreign, hence never explored by anyone or any alien, ring structure in orbit around a planet. As John 117 continues to battle through waves of attacks to reunite the human crew, the purpose of the large structure becomes apparent, and the aliens want to use it as a weapon to destroy all of humanity. Master Chief and the crew of the Pillar of Autumn have to find a way to defeat the gigantic station's defenses, unintended residents, and the Covenant through a series of trials, ultimately attempting to destroy the station in a life-or-death race, all in the name of defending humanity and each other. But why is an augmented super soldier from the 26th century so easy to identify? Well, let's go down the checklist. He isn't infallible and needs direction and consultation with Cortana often. Master Chief can be killed and can't just run around without concern for himself or others. He faces multiple trials in the form of the game's 10 levels. And Master Chief ultimately faces near certain death at the climax of the final level, only to have the story resolve itself in the cutscene after some plausible but still highly unlikely stunts. Who doesn't think about saving humanity from alien invaders randomly? I mean, that's just a typical fantasy for, most adolescents, I think. Yes, Halo Combat Evolved hits all the wickets for the hero with 1,000 faces and the telling of a classic epic. Master Chief also potentially resonates with players for another reason. Similar to how Boba Fett became a cult hero, we never see his face. John 117 could be anyone, and instead of alienating potential players, the protagonist could be any person that picks up the controller and plays. Master Chief is literally a hero with 1,000 faces. But why does the hero with 1,000 faces speak to so many players, readers, and viewers? In layman's terms, the cycle of the hero's journey mimics our own throughout our daily, monthly, and life struggles. We might not be saving all of humanity against a covenant of alien invaders, but we are constantly called upon to do something new and different outside of our comfort zone. We seek guidance from those that have come before or have more knowledge. We struggle and face deadlines, decisions, and milestones, ultimately to reach a critical mass before it goes left or right. Once completed, we collect our reward and go back to our lives. It's still the same life, but it's also slightly different. We struggle every day, whether it is to be a better person, parent, worker, YouTuber, whatever it is we want to do. We're a little wiser, stand a little taller, and maybe even mature a little bit. Does this mean that video games without well thought out scripted, voice acted, and played heroes are all garbage? Rated ahead for the do not play at all costs bin? Absolutely not. Different games for different folks. Many stories succeed without any hero at all, or a poor hero but excellent gameplay, but few and far between resonate with players and become classics. Hero games, hero media in general, all revolve around the same ideology. When your friend who likes to argue and comes up and says, "All the hero stories are exactly the same. I don't know what it is you like about them," you can respond and say, yes, they are, but they're all different as well. Next time you pick up Hollow Knight, Mario, Legends of Zelda, or any other plethora of heroic saga, think about how the hero struggles mimic your own. And know that no matter how difficult or dark the trials become, you have assistance from wise Gandalf. You have the support from your party, and you will emerge from the other side stronger and more capable than how you began your journey. But does this mean that heroes are necessarily ordinary people without any special makeup, genetics, luck, or natural ability? Yes and no. Generally, our heroes in video games are a little luckier than heroes in other entertainment mediums. Let's face it, not every player is as skilled as would be necessary to pull off some of the crazy stunts of Nathan Drake, or have the patience and nerves to hide in plain sight like Solid Snake. But across Western civilization, our heroes generally fall under the Homeric principles of being a hero.
Homeric? Like Homer? Like Odyssey and
Odysseus? Yeah, that's exactly right. In Homeric culture, honor was paramount, and the most famous was Odysseus. Odysseus believed that he had to win glory and immortality through heroic action on the battlefield and believed that men had to respect each other and refrain from excess cruelty. Odysseus detested deliberate acts of cruelty and believed that if he had to kill a man, he should do it quickly. This gave Odysseus a sense of dignity and a reputation for honor that would ensure his place in history. A Homeric hero's honor was paramount to his social standing as well. If he lost his honor, his community would then just kind of shun him. And while we don't focus on the honor quite to the same degree today, if a hero does something dishonorable, say slaughters an entire village of peaceful people, then they're no longer heralded but instead damned, vilified, and cast aside. We as gamers realize that it isn't just black and white for good and evil. There can be a large swath of gray, and depending on the event, it might even be full range color. The choices become harder and the repercussions greater, and that's what makes video game heroes so appealing. In general, their decisions can range from rather simple to fairly complex, and all by the game's code of honor. Some games, such as Halo Combat Evolved, Master Chief must protect those weaker than himself and protect humanity against an external threat. In Jedi Fallen Order, Cal must choose between protecting those weaker than himself and protecting himself and his identity as a Jedi. We now have the internet, we have communication to the moon and back in under 10 seconds and can share a selfie from anywhere on the planet. The instant and constant ability to see one another, our actions and thoughts, regardless of where we are on the planet, means that modern heroes are significantly different than what our forefathers believed. Now we think of heroes as those that make significant contributions for the community. A good person where integrity, honor, honesty, intelligence, wisdom, action, morality, and love all work to bring a balance. Master Chief fits the Homeric hero hands down, fighting against the bad guys because they're bad. There's little to no moral conflict in choosing side. Other games have been pushing the limit on these ideas, such as the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare installments, as well as Spec Ops: The Line, which have some rather questionable decisions in there. The next question is, why does this matter? Don't we have the Hero of a Thousand Faces with its hero's journey to tell me what's going to happen next? Well, kind of. For the story to resonate with today's audience, it has to connect with today's strife. Lara Croft, Kratos, and even the rookie in Halo ODST all did stylistic changes in the content to address different concerns. With the 2013 reboot of Lara Croft and the Tomb Raider franchise, the focus moved away from a scantily clad female to a strong, intelligent woman who can and does fend for herself and her friends across a wide range of Indiana Jones-style escapades. The 2018 God of War focuses on Kratos' struggle with his hyper-violent past and destruction of the gods, balanced against being a good father, exacting his ultimate revenge against Zeus by being the dad the king of gods never was. Artuis, lovingly referred to as Boy for most of the game, presents additional struggles for Kratos, such as parenting a strong-willed child who oscillates from no self-control to over-the-top bravado. If this doesn't resonate with gamers today, I don't know what does. The game development studios and the writers for games today are doing an excellent job at being able to connect with their audience. The addition of more depth to these stories for these characters shows some gaming studios have really figured out what a great story can be. At a minimum, they reinforce the gameplay and at best take a game into that coveted category of an instant classic. Those instant classics immediately allow for us to reflect on ourselves, our society, and just culture in general and address what we think a hero really is and what being good and being great really does. This has been Ridir Gaming. Thank you for stopping by. If you enjoyed the video essay, please leave a like, share a comment. I'm really interested to see how everybody enjoyed the video essay format. I really like doing the editing on the videos. I really enjoy the narration, writing the paper, coming up with a little bit of an argument, and then sharing it with y'all. So if you liked it, please say something down below. Hit the like button. If you haven't been here before, please hit subscribe. I drop content twice a month, one video game review and one video essay. Anyway, this has been Ridir Gaming, and we'll see you next time.